Well, hi guys, Jamie here. We just wrapped up last week for the Soundwave 2015 festival. This week we have got a great band from Tasmania, Psycroptic, and I'm talking to Dave. G'day, Dave, and how's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good, man. And I spoke to Goatwhore about 2 weeks ago because he's doing a double headliner Australian tour, and they can't wait to do the gig with you guys too. But I want to ask, with this new album, and it's a self-titled album that's just coming out this Friday on the 13th, you guys absolutely ready for this tour, and what else are you looking forward to?
100%. I mean, it's been a little while since we've been out. I think the last run of shows we did was in December. So we're very much a live band, so we love touring, getting out there and playing. Especially when we have new songs, we'd like to get out there and play the new songs live, because even though it's great to record, it's even better to play them live, and you can see instantaneously people's reaction and that sort of thing, which is a great bonus to the songwriting process. So we can't wait. We can't wait till, especially touring with Goatwhore, because we know those guys. They're really good friends. Great band. A little bit different stylistically from us, but I think that's just going to make for an awesome package.
What I also like about you guys is, and especially when I talk to the other bands from overseas, the very first band that they mention about Australia is Psycroptic. And I want to ask, what do you think that's the case? Is it due to your legacy and your longevity within the band that made you guys well known overseas as well?
I think so. We've never been scared of touring. We've done as much as we can over the years. Of course, with balancing work and home life and that sort of thing. So, we do try to spend a couple of months on the road a year. So that definitely helps. And I think just the case that a lot of our albums are very varied. So, some people might like our later stuff better than our earlier stuff. And it helps broaden the actual the fan base rather than recording the same album over and over again. So I think both those two things combined definitely have helped spread the name.
Yeah, it does, because the good thing about it is that these bands overseas always mention that people got to check out the metal scene in Australia, because it's so flourishing, it's strong, but like I keep saying, first band they mention is Psycroptic. And also, the funniest thing is, they asked me, is Tasmania still part of Australia? And I've said, of course it is. Of course Tasmania is still part of the Australia. But I want to ask, before we go into the tour and the latest album, I just want to ask, as a standpoint from being an Aussie yourself, how do you think the metal scene is in Australia as a whole?
I think it's great. There's so many talented bands, and there's so many bands that are actually willing to push it and make the trips overseas. Put up all their hard-earned cash and go out and promote what they believe in. So I think it's awesome. It's a lot easier for European bands or US bands to just borrow their parents' van and jump in it and go and do 30 dates. But for an Australian band, or Australia, New Zealand, whatever, bands have to save up the 10, 15 grand and spend it before they've even played one fucking show. So that level of commitment, I think, shows that a lot of Australian bands really believe in what they do. In terms of the quality and the musicianship, it's world class. So there's the scene is I think it's really thriving, and it's got its own unique sound as well. So it's great. I'm a big supporter of the Aussie scene.
I've always been a strong supporter of Australian metal, and not just the metal scene, but the rock scene as well, because I put the rock in the metal because it goes hand in hand, but predominantly, for what I have seen over the last 20 years, it's still flourishing. Probably the record labels aren't really that strong here in Australia, but at saying that, it doesn't stop the bands from recording great stuff. If they have to record and release it as an independent release, like an EP or so forth, at least they can still go out on tour. That's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just great to see not just you guys, but a lot of other bands like Truth Corroded. Another band that's really doing well is King Pyre. They overseas again. They've just done Soundwave, wrapped it up 2 weeks ago. Now they're back over in Europe at the moment. So it goes to show that there are some pioneers here in Australia that really raising a flag for us.
No, 100%. Yeah. Take a band like King Parrot. They haven't stopped for the last few years.
Yeah, it really. Yeah.
They're relentless. Youngie in the band, he's such a driving force. And yeah, awesome band. Doing great things for Australian metal scene. It's killer. That's a band that really believes in what they're doing and just wants to do it. There's. It's easy to make excuses for something that's hard. I'm not going to criticise any bands or name any bands, but sometimes it's easy to say, we're planning to do this tour next year and blah blah blah. But someone like King Parrot, it's like, no, we're fucking going next week. Book the tour and we'll figure out how to make it there. So I think that's definitely the the Australian pioneering spirit. It's, fuck it, let's get it done.
It really is. Well, you guys are going to release that album on the 13th. The tour with Goatwhore, it's just around the corner. Well, actually, it's going to start very shortly. I think it's already has started. But
it starts Thursday.
Yeah. But it's coming to Adelaide on this Saturday for New Dead 6. We've got such a great lineup. It's an all-age gig as well. Tickets are still available if you haven't got your tickets. But I want to ask, with the new album, how long did the writing process get together, and how long did it take you guys to record this latest album?
The process probably took about 9 months or so. We actually recorded it over 2 different sessions, which is something we've never done before, which was good. It helped make the music turn out a lot different from previous releases. But it's probably the whole writing and recording process was probably spaced over a year. So we did a lot of pre-production, a lot of demos. Joe owns his own studio, so it was a lot easier to fine tune all the tracks. So it was a year of hard work.
I've also got to ask, you just not long ago released a single off that called Cold, and it's the first single off the album as well. Are you getting great response from that single already?
Yeah, it's been good. Actually, the album went live streaming, so people can, just last week, so everyone can jump on and listen to it for free now. So, releasing Cold, and then we put out The World Discarded, and the reaction's been, killer. Probably the most positive reaction for an album we've done, which is excellent.
And I've also got to ask on the name of the album. I know it's a self-titled album, but was that a plan from the start that this was going to be a self-titled album?
Not really. We threw together quite a few different titles, and nothing really seemed to fit. And I think it was just one day at rehearsal, one of the guys mentioned, why don't we, this is our strongest album to date, why don't we just self-title it? It could be a good middle point for the band. And after thinking about it, it's like, fuck it, let's do that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really planned from the start. It was more halfway through the process. Yeah.
Now, the reason why I asked that, because a lot of people think, it's an EP or no. I said, no, it's a full album. Check it out. It's coming out. And And I just have to make that clear to some of the fans out there that, no, this is a full-length album, not an EP.
Yeah, full length. 9 tracks.
And you got 9 singles on the album. And is there any other material that was left off the album? Or
yeah, we did 1 extra song.
Yeah.
We were going to put 10 tracks on there, but we had to, kind of had to sacrifice it. It just didn't feel right. We couldn't get it sitting right, so we thought, fuck it, we'll just leave it and we'll try to rework it and see what we can see how we can restructure it. But it was we do throw away a lot of material that doesn't really work. That's just part and parcel of it.
Yeah. The question I always like to ask, especially being a fan, not just a journalist or a host of a show, but also a fan, when you release new material and then also playing the new material live to an audience as well, do you think the fans predominantly judge the band, or not judge them, but you get what I'm saying when I say when they listen to the album but then listen to it live, do you think they're judging the content of how a band performs live with this new album?
Well, I mean, you can put the microscope on the music when you're listening to it at home or in the car or on your iPhone or whatever. Yeah. You can really fine-tune in on everything, and you can actually be the music police, and it's like, are they making a mistake somewhere? Is there a bum note somewhere? But in the live realm, it's there. It's happening right in front of you. Live. It's fucking live. So little mistakes or little embellishments or whatever can be missed, but the overall energy is going to be a lot higher, and I think it's easier to really understand what a band is about when you see them live, how they're actually performing the songs and the energy they're putting in and that sort of thing. So even though we take a lot of pride in the recorded work, and we spend hours and hours and hours making sure everything's perfect, I think we're still definitely a live band. Even if you just have a passing listen to the album, just come and check us out live, because I think that's definitely our domain. I think it's different for every band. Some bands are definitely studio albums. You go to their live shows and it's fucking shit. So some bands have got both.
Well,
definitely.
For me personally, I couldn't care less, because I'm having so much fun down in the mosh pit. I couldn't care less if it's a new material or an old material. It's just still great for me. I'm thrashing it out down in the mosh pit, and I'm sweating it out, and I don't really pay that much of attention whether the fans really getting into it with the new material or not. But I have been to a gig just recently over in Melbourne, and it was a side show for Slash, and even though it was more of a mature audience, when they were playing the latest stuff of his last album, the response that I saw in the crowd wasn't really there. Maybe it was just because it was a mature audience. But as saying that, you got New Dead 6 this weekend here in Adelaide. It's an all-age gig. You see, with a new album coming out and also an all-age gig, do you think the younger generation is really getting hooked onto this stuff?
Well, I hope so. It's definitely a lot more catchy off the bat, I guess, the new material. So, there's always going to be that familiarity. People are going to get into the songs they know more because they know what's coming. And new songs, if they haven't heard the album, they might be standing back and just trying to take it in. So that's definitely the case with newer versus older material. But I think our new material is just a lot catchier and easier to digest off the bat. So if you haven't seen us before, I think you'll dig the new material more than some of our previous stuff. So I think it's going to go really well, and especially with the all ages crowd. We'll definitely put on the best show we can for everyone.
Yeah, it is. And it's also another good thing that there are still some all-age gigs out there, like Soundwave is one of them, but being New Dead as well, featuring all the great metal bands here, in not just in Adelaide, but from around Australia. And also, as we mentioned, you got Goatwhore coming over from America as well. I really do want this one to flourish like it did last year, and I've got high expectation that this year be close to selling out. It was, the last I heard, it was very, very close. It really was sprouting up. But going back to the point was that I like seeing more all-age gigs so the younger kids can actually hear some of this stuff that they've been dreading for a long time. And New Dead is just another example. Just open the doors for these kids to come along and be part of the show, basically.
Oh, 100%. When I was younger, and it meant so much to me if a band did an all ages, because I couldn't get into. Well, I was sneaking into the pubs, but it was a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But it's going to make a massive impact on people's lives. The first few gigs that they see. So it's a big privilege and definitely a big responsibility. If this could be the only gig that these guys see from us. So definitely we always want to be on point, and in terms of the all ages gigs in general, it's just great for fostering the rock and the metal community, because it's opening the doors to everyone. The younger generations can see that this is a very cool, very positive thing. Gives them something to do, gives them something to aspire to if they're musicians or would be promoters or whatever. It's just all inclusive, rather than there being this stupid fucking age restriction that you got to be 18 before you're deemed responsible to come and listen to some music or watch the music.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. So
yeah,
all ages gigs, definitely very, very positive thing. So yeah, the New Dead it's one of the premier metal fests in Australia. Smaller metal fests, but it's excellently run. It's a huge thing for Adelaide and the metal scene in general.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, people, well, not the people, but some of these promoters put like a age barrier, which one they have to due to the licensing, and for what I can gather, it does try to leave the younger ones out, and it's really frustrating, especially when you're not even 18 or over. If you're under the age of 18 and this metal was the only thing that you guys listened to, it does become a little bit frustrating that you couldn't, one, go to that gig, or two, have to wait till you're like 18. But by the time you turn 18, some of these bands not around anymore. But we're just lucky here in Australia that we do have some all-age gigs for these young kids to come out and enjoy themselves. And I like it. I really do.
Yeah. It's a very, very positive thing.
Yeah, it is. But being one of the proud sponsors of New Dead 6, Blood, Sweat and Metal, I want to ask, are you guys preparing to get absolutely smashed this Saturday coming up to New Dead?
On the booze front?
Yeah.
No. Because we've got to go straight away because it's part of the tour. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, we might have a couple of quiet ones, or maybe even a couple of loud ones. But it's early in the tour, and the performance and the shows are the most important thing for us. So even though it's good to fucking kick your heels up and have a couple, we still take pride and responsibility in what we do, so we don't want to sacrifice any other shows. So every show is as important as each other. So
yeah,
I'm sure a few of the boys in the tour party will get a bit loose, but yeah, myself and I guess a couple of Psycho boys, yeah, probably not as much.
Yeah. Well, you can always go up to the Newma bar after the performance, so just up the road, so it's all good.
Yeah, but, I know it well.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, I just want to quickly say this. The fans, of course, that listen to our show, Psycroptic is on tour right now with Goatwhore. They're coming to a town near you. If you haven't got your tickets, please do so at your ticket venues that sells the tickets. And also this Friday, go and get Psycroptic, new latest album, Psycroptic. Also, if you haven't seen them live, please go and check these guys out because, one, they're one of the pioneers of metal of Australia, the raising the flag and the raising it to sky heaven. I'll be checking them out this Saturday at New Dead, as always, because I'm a supporter and also I'm a sponsor for New Dead this year. But, Dave, it's all the time we've got for, but I want to say congratulations on the new album, and also keep smashing those drums, man, on tour, and I'll see you this Saturday.
Thanks heaps, brother. You take care, and I'll see you on the weekend.
Yeah, all right, man. All right, guys, that's all the time we got for. Go and check these guys out, and we're going to play the latest single, Cold, off the latest album, and also give a classic song out as well, so you get a double dose of Psycroptic. But, yep, Dave, we'll catch you this Saturday, man.
Awesome. Take care. See you soon.
Thanks, man. Check you later. Bye.